Good evening and welcome to The Big Story here on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. I'm Zainab Balogun-Olowu. Today on The Big Story, we'll be taking a look at the rise in the cost of cooking gas. So Nigerians have been lamenting, the rise in the cost of cooking gas across different parts of the country, including Lagos, with prices now ranging over 2,000 naira per kilogram, meaning a 12.5 kilogram cylinder would now cost as much as 26,000 naira as refill. Now, Radio Now spoke to some persons in Lagos to find out about the rising costs of cooking gas and how they are coping with this.
God's people, I sell food, etc. at Campbell Street. Last 2 weeks, that was 1,400 for 1 kg. So now on Saturday, we bought it 2,000 naira. Yes, for 1 kg. Normally, before if you buy it, we normally sell our food 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500. So now, I think we start selling it 1,500, 1,700, 2,000. I'm trying to switch. Maybe I will start using charcoal. Yes, I don't know. They said it's because of the union they have now. God's people.
My name is Emmanuel and I live at Ogudu. The last time I checked at mobile fuel station in VI was 1,000 naira straight from the pump. Yeah, that was what I saw and I asked to confirm just to know. But however, as it is now, I'm hearing prices have really gone up. Some are saying 1,500, some are saying 1,700, even up to 2,000 and 2,003 in some areas, depending on where you are buying it from. It's really crazy. Honestly, one will say gas is the safest means of cooking, and then apart from that, gas is clean energy. When you look at the environment and what the world is portraying today about green energy, in a country that has so much gas, wealth and resource, you cannot buy gas to be cheap. It's terrible. And if we're going to promote green energy, then why would the government not make it easy for people to use gas, which is clean? As it is now, I may be among the little fortunate ones that are able to purchase the gas and get it as free as I want because I'm in the industry. But I fear for those that are not. A lot of people I've heard are now moving on to charcoal. And we all know what charcoal does. It's very, very unhealthy to the environment and it causes cancer when it goes so much into the body. We are fighting with fuel, with cars bringing out bad emissions. We are fighting with diesel vehicles. And now it has to be charcoal because people need to survive, their mode of survival. So it's really bad. It's really bad.
Liquefied K2 area, 1 kg. Before it was 1,050 naira. But now I bought it on Friday for 1,700. That was on Friday. So, and the thing is disturbing me, seriously. Because I have to use gas to prepare my markets before coming out. I don't know what government will do for us if they can help us so that the price will come down. I do fry, I cook, and I use it normal at home chores. I have to cook. I can't use 1 kg. 1 kg will not help me for the whole day. So I have to fill up to 3-4 kg. And then the price is high. I can't go up to that extent. So I have to feel like maybe 2 based on the price so I will manage. For now, I'm thinking of switching to charcoal or kerosene. I don't know how much one can get that. From last month is 1,050 naira from the gas filling station. So I do feel ahead. But as for last week, I feel 1,700.
The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC), Ojulari, linked the surge in LPG prices to the recent strike by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN. He said this while addressing State House correspondents after a courtesy visit to the president.
Relatively artificial because, for the period of the strike, what that meant was that quite movements and loading were delayed by about 2-3 days, right? And because of that, you see that impact. As things return back to normal, it takes some time for distribution to be fully restored. So that delay, and of course, as you know, with Nigerians, people take opportunity. With that delay, some of the people that have existing resources and reserves had to put up the price. My expectation is that now that things are back to normal, prices should return back to what they were before the strike.
All right, but this has raised critical questions as to how much did the strike truly disrupt supply? What's the impact of this, on this sector? To speak to us on this, we have the president, the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Mr. Olatunbosun Abideen-Oladapo. Good evening, Mr. Olatunbosun. It's great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. And good evening to Nigerians.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And, we've seen this issue. People have complained in Lagos, some person in Abuja, Port Harcourt, well, maybe some other places. We spoke to some persons in Bauchi, Kaduna. It did not really affect them. So, according to what the NNPC boss said, for you, right, because, you're the president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers. So, from your perspective, was this really about the Pengasan and the Pegasus strike because of what happened with Dangote, or was there more to this surge that we saw in the cost of cooking gas?
Thank you for that beautiful question. First and foremost, let me say I seriously sympathize with Nigerians. And also on behalf of the entire membership of my association, apologizing for where we find ourselves. It is not convenient. People are passing through here, and food is a means of sustenance when you cannot cook freely. Like somebody said in your intro, it will become a serious challenge. It's quite unfortunate. But I will go step by step of what led us to where we are. And let me say it categorically, there's no increment in price of gas. Government or the producer has not increased price. What is happening is a force of demand and supply. People catching on and taking advantage of the short supply in the market. The price that the major suppliers are still selling is the same price. Ordinarily, price of cooking gas supposed to be between 1,000, 1,050, even 950, 900, depending on location and the volume you are buying. And that is what we celebrated recently. That in the last 2-3 years, this is the first time we are buying a kg of gas at less than 1,000, which is quite good. And as of today, nothing has changed. Price has not changed from the main source. The few people that had this product that was scarce due to artificial occurrences that make an artificial scarcity, take advantage of it and have the price to inconvenience Nigerians. And that is why I say I sympathize and apology to all of them, all Nigerians. And by the grace of God, normalcy will return. Officially, price of gas has not increased. Price will come back to where it was. Now, let me now tell you what led us to where we are. See, with the introduction of Dangote refinery, when they commenced selling gas on commercial basis, they were trucking as much as 50 trucks out per day.
Okay.
That's a good and a large number. Other producers and other storage facilities also are adding to it. And that makes gas to be very abundant in the whole western region and in extension to the northern, because people come from the north to pick here. The south zone have their own source of supply. NLNG gives them regularly. There's other molecule producers in the south that are producing. We have Kwale Hydrocarbon and some other companies that are producing. So gas was quite abundant and available in the whole country. Now, the truth of the matter is that our consumption level is actually going up, even though we've not gotten to the target. But as now, we are consuming at about 1.8 to 1.9 million metric tons per annum, as against 1,250,000, 1,300,000 that we were doing, which was very stagnant for over 2-3 years. With the introduction of Dangote coming in and the price coming down, there are more usage of gas and more people getting to the net, and we are having about 1.9 at a times peak of 1.9, lower of 1.8 million metric tons per annum, which is quite good. The country has a capacity to take as much as 6 million with the kind of population we have. And the supply we had there was steady and regular. Dangote was talking about 50 trucks on a daily basis. Another terminal owner were also doing the same thing. But before the strike before the strike actually happened, Dangote also have internal destruction in terms of maintenance they were doing, and it got to a point that trucks were spending about 13 days, 12 days without loading and waiting to be loaded inside Dangote yard. That had happened before the strike.
Okay.
So we know that that's a lag, that's a delay. But the impact of that was not shown because other producers, people are rushing to buy them and they are filling the gap. Now, when the strike was called, when Dangote finished with maintenance, hoping to go back to normalcy, that is when the issue of the strike came up. There was a strike, and gas that were to be brought into Nigeria, to Lagos, through NOJ terminal, actually came in, but the vessel could not bat because the officers to receive and to confirm were not on duty. So we lost about 5 days of that. 5 days for a short supply we have experienced because of maintenance in Dangote. You can see the accumulation of the gap. So virtually all reserve has been extracted. Only few that had gas then, others that go to high wholesale to buy, could not buy because vessels were not, because of that strike. So the few that got now, which was NIPCO, Adova, 11 PSC, they couldn't take delivery because there was a strike. And when the strike was over, they have to take delivery. There are a lot of trucks already waiting. The whole tank already dry. And the whole community, the whole society actually looking for gas. So there's more pressure. Okay. Immediately they started trucking out, it was actually chaotic. Okay. Clumsy, trailer could not even in and out of Apapa. But thank God now, normalcy is coming now. They are trucking out.
Okay.
The backlog will be cleared.
All right, Mr. Olatunbosun, because
the backlog will be cleared very soon.
Okay. And that's what people want. And you've talked about the timeline. You said, because what most people saw was, is this as a result of that strike action? Yes, we saw the issues with the GenCos as well. Power generation dropped, and it's back. Same thing with petrol. You're not seeing queues, and so people were wondering what really happened with gas. You
weren't following my explanation.
No, I was following.
Before the strike.
Yes, I
the
get
major
you.
The major supplier in Southwest now is Dangote, and Dangote actually being the game changer in terms of what he's putting out and the price. Asset all marketer focus that they buy from it. Okay. This is an institution that truck out about 50 truck per day.
Yes.
Suddenly they had a maintenance issue, and that 50 truck hardly for the truck can stay 13 days, 10 days.
Okay.
So there are another truck for there. So that gap, that area was closed. Everybody has to go to Apapa to go and buy. So everything Apapa had, they have all bought it. So they became dry. Everybody became dry at a time.
Mr. Olatunbosun,
and you are now waiting for supply.
Yes, I totally understand. So, that's the background I was trying to give, because now you've explained as to, why we're really seeing this. You talked about the strike probably aggravated it, but already there was the issue on ground with Dangote, which you mentioned.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you also talked about the North, right? And we spoke to some persons in the North, and it did not really affect them. So if they are actually coming to pick up in Lagos, how come we're seeing the increment more in Lagos, and those in the North, somebody from Bauchi, Kaduna, were saying they did not really...
Thank you. Beautiful question. It has to do with utilization level. What is the consumption of the North? If you truck out 20 trucks to the North today, they will feel it. Send out 20 trucks. They've started loading about 3 days ago now in Lagos. But it hasn't gone down because the consumption level in Lagos and its environment is high. All the Southwest Nigeria are the largest consumer of cooking gas in Nigeria. So the North, their demand is low. And few quantity that is available is still going to South, they have gas. Because the last vessel of NLNG that went to South went there with which volume, and that is what's circulating there. Another vessel is due to go there. So they may not feel the scarcity as much as Lagos is in. Lagos will rely on Apapa and Dangote. We not leave the truck and go and buy from Kwale. It's a far distance. It's not profitable with risk on the road.
Right.
But the population within Lagos and Ibadan is quite high. And that is why you are seeing this gap that you are trying.
Mr. Olatunbosun, are you there? Okay. Mr. Olatunbosun, can you hear me?
Imports.
Okay.
Gap.
Okay.
Why did they import?
Oh no!
For the importation.
So,
now,
Mr. Olatunbosun, you have to take that again because yes, we didn't hear you at a point, and so I was going to ask you about importation, and you're talking about that right now, so you can go ahead. We missed some parts because of the network.
Yeah, the question somebody will have asked: if there's distortion in supply, local supply, why did they quickly import?
Yeah.
The import now, you need to be very strategic to import on a commercial basis. Because when Dangote sell products, he sell at international price, which is convenient, and he minimizes the involvement of middlemen. Sell directly to off-takers. The middlemen, the chain of distribution is so short. Unlike others, where their own chain of distribution is quite long, and the middlemen role are quite heavy, which adds to the cost. So when Dangote price comes into the market, it's always lower than others because he had cut of middlemen that will have added more to the cost. So if you now import into the country with all overhead and everything, you may not match the price Dangote will give, even though Dangote also sell at international price. But other additional costs, other overheads.
Mr. Olatunbosun.
What is the price?
Okay.
It's a network issue. I don't have control over that.
Yes, I totally understand.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. So you were talking about the overhead cost.
Overhead cost. So the overhead cost, if you import gas to the country, you may not be able to beat the price Dangote will cover. I give you an example. A particular company that I will not name imported gas into this country. They had to keep that gas inside the storage facility for more than 6 months, expecting the price to go up. And they were incurring demurrage and storage costs. Invariably, they sold that gas at heavy loss. So any importer coming to the country now has to be wary. Will people buy? If supply is steady and free flow, the way Dangote has been running about 50 trucks on a daily basis, we won't have problem. So if you import, people will go and buy one because it's own will land at a better price than yours. So you will not commercially justified. And so for you to go to an import, you have to sit down and do your arithmetic. Will it be profitable? Unless you have several outlets that you can import straight to your outlet and deliver to your outlet. That is where you can break even. So that is why importation was a little bit discouraged. So we were heavily relying on the local production. And the local production is sufficient for us at our level of consumption, if not the distortion that we had. So by the time we come back to the normal life, all the distortion is eliminated and all the backlog are being clear, we still come back to the normal life and we continue to buy gas at 1,000 per kg, 1,050 naira or 980, 950 depending. That has not changed. Dangote has not officially increased its price, and I believe people that are taking advantage of the scarcity will also come back to the normal price, because when they know the market competition and the supply, we challenge them, their price will have to come down.
Okay.
Let's keep on praying that Dangote can continue to truck out 50 trucks on a daily basis, as it used to do. This is what it used to. It used to supply us 50 trucks on a daily basis.
Okay.
If that continues and other people are still doing it, then we won't have problem.
All right. I'll come back to that because, there's the issue of, people talk about monopolization. Is that the issue we're seeing now? Because now you have said if you import it.
No. This has not to do with monopoly. It's about business.
Right.
It has not stopped anybody to import or to sell. I've told you, even Dangote is selling at international price.
Right.
It's not giving it free. So if you want to bring, if you can as well eliminate middlemen and reduce overhead, you can compete perfectly with him.
Okay. So
and you are contented with the margin. Some are not contented. Before these people came in, they were making heavy margin, even on LNG products. LNG product will land, and you will see a terminal or a product that is making as much as double, 50% margin. That is killing on consumer. This is what is eliminated by selling to marketers directly and reducing all the costs. That is why the price came down. That's the secret. Okay. So when they now know there's a competitor, they also have to reduce their margin. And their margin that they reduce, of course, they may not be so comfortable with it, but still remain in business. We just have to have interest of consumer attacks.
All right, Mr. Olatunbosun. So what's the situation now? You're saying it's getting better because with the disruption, right, it means you were not really able to get supply this time that they were on strike. And so that, hindered, activities as well. But what's the situation now? Are you able, to get products?
Yeah, the situation is getting better. NIPCO has started talking out 3-4 days ago. In fact, they do all night to hit this problem. We're on their neck and they comply. They do all night. And the gases are coming out of the depot. Dangote has also issued performance invoice to the off-takers. They've paid and they are using the authority to load. But the loading is still a bit slow. I can understand the current slow movement of loading. An institution that lost hundreds of staff, that the placements are not immediate. Definitely, that gap will be there. The processing will be delayed. Maybe that is why truck is now spending about 2 days, 3 days to leave. They finish with the maintenance, but they have not fully come back to their full strength.
Okay.
The recent layoff of staff also have effect on them too. So if all these challenges are solved, they will come back to normal life.
So does that mean for now things might not go back to normal? For now, might still be seen.
No, but let's watch it between now and the end of the week. Another vessel is due from NLNG. Another vessel from NLNG is due in 5 days' time.
Okay. All right.
Okay. The one that you receive, and 11 PS is trucking out today. NIPCO is trucking out. Adova is trucking out. So 11 PS is selling. So all those one before it dries off. Another vessel is coming in the next 5 days, which will give NAFGAS, NIPCO, and other people in the NOJ region. They will all have gas. So if Dangote is stably producing and trucking out at the rate that it used to supply, then things will get better. And we can understand the challenge they also have too. The staff strength is also an effect, but they are better off than what it used to be 2-3 weeks now. Trucks are loading within 2-3 days now, which was not like your truck goes the first day, you load that day. That was 2 months ago. But when the whole problem started, when they were doing maintenance, truck was spending about 13-12 days. That is over now. They are backing the maintenance. They are done with the maintenance. They are trying to talk out. Then the issue of starving will also be an internal challenge to them too.
Okay.
So, but now I believe by next week they will come back to the normal life. That a truck will go in, load that day, and keep on trucking out. Then no, we come back to normalcy. Before the end of this week, by the grace of God, there will be more sufficient supply.
All right. So do you know if Dangote reduced prices? Because today was trending that gas, cooking gas was reduced to 760 naira. So you talked about a pro forma invoice. Was there any reduction?
That's my first confirmation that the price has not increased. And Dangote has also not increased price.
Reduced.
People that increased price took advantage of little scarcity and they'll be forced to go back to the normal price.
So this is on the retailers. Is the retailers that...
Yes. Usually let me also comment on people that say they are buying 2,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
It should always be clear so that we not mislead people. If you go and buy from a third party or fourth party, you will buy it expensive. Why did you go to gas plants? There's no of my member, no gas plants. If you have any, please, I'll give my number out. Send me the receipt. None of my member will sell gas at 2,000. If that person doing it, it will be reprimanded.
So how much were they selling?
Gas at 2,000 naira?
How much were they selling this period?
For this price now, some of my members are selling 1,002, 1,001, 1,003, depending on the area and the kind of overhead they incur to get there. But like I said, we are coming back to the number of 1,000. It's in as much as supply improve, which is going to be improved very soon.
Okay. So I think that's, where the increment will also
anybody
come.
that buys at 2,000, whatever, that are forming headlines, they are buying from wrong side. If you just like...
But Mr. Olatunbosun, if they say it was more expensive, it's because they probably used to get it from that same place at a cheaper price, and now they've seen it at 2,000. And if you also said your people to, from maybe 1,100 that you sell it because of maybe the what's it now? What they incurred as well, 1,213. There was that increment, and so we'll see it trickle down.
It's an abnormal situation because the supply did not go round.
Yeah.
The supply is going round now, and that will automatically mark the market. The price will stabilize. Those people that are catching on the artificial scarcity now will stop, because when the supply goes round, if all gas plants to take delivery now, which between now and weekend it should happen, then you will need to go and patronize those to do side one. You will go to a side program. One guy mentioned your intro that he refilled at Mobile and he refilled at 1,000. He didn't say last time he went there, he filled at 2,000. It can never happen. Mobile is owned by 11 PSC and they have direct supply. They can.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Olatunbosun, because we have to wrap up now.
No gas plants.
Yeah, Mr. Olatunbosun, for him, he wasn't saying it was within this 5 days period. He was talking about the last time, and the last time could have even been before, the strike or something. But what was the impact?
Yes,
what was the impact of this strike action on your on the marketers? On how do you call the short form? Because sometimes calling the phone.
We have idle hours. Idle hours. Idle hours is not productive. You have gas plants close their shop because they don't have gas. You are losing money. You pay salary. So that's an impact, that's a cost. And at the same time, it's a business you are doing. You enjoy when people come in and out. So we have issues to that. Part of impact is discussion we are doing now, which is part of our time, our energy. This will not have arisen if there is steady supply. So these are the impact of kind of destruction in the supply chain. But this destruction will be soon corrected and things will flow normally. I will beg Nigeria to please be patient. Like the group managing director of NNPC said, there's no official increase in price. It is just a distortion in supply and which will soon be over. By the grace of God, we have sufficient gas that can go round and a lot of effort is being made. NLNG is also sending a vessel from Bonny, which I said is due to arrive in about 5 days time now. It's coming with large quantity. It's going to serve about 4 or 5 depots. That will go round. Then Dangote has fully back. So by the time they stabilize managing their manpower, challenges and everything, they keep on trucking out and things will improve. So
this does not happen again, right? And I'd like to get your thoughts as we wrap up now. You talked about Dangote, especially the staff strength, but he said he would like say fired these people because of act of sabotage. Pengerson talked about unionization. Whichever way, he had to let workers go because he thought it was sabotage. So he decided to do that, whichever reason it was. We're not so sure. But Pengerson now has said that they are only suspending. They are not calling off the strike. He said this is an unwritten agreement, and if anything happens, if Dangote doesn't follow through with the agreement, absorbing these other persons in other in his other companies, they might also go back on this strike. So what do you think needs to be done? Because already, which you have said, there was that impact whichever way, on Nigerians. They stopping these people that were supposed to supply gas, those people could not also go to work. So all of those things also affected. And so if this happens again, then what will Nigeria, where would they be? And, there's that impact on you, there's impact on Nigerians themselves, and we're talking about clean energy. So if people are going back to charcoal, what clean energy are we talking about? So what do you think needs to be done so that they do not go back on this strike action?
Well, thank you. Every strike is always being suspended. That means we are in discussion, we can come. Let's leave that as it may. The two parties are both fighting for their own interests. Dangote as a company, as an institution, is protecting its own interests, its future, and stability of its business. Fengers are also protecting the interests of their members. So it's all about interest, which is quite critical in any decision-making process. But the most important thing we must know is that this is the first time ever in the life of our country that we have a private institution paying that gigantic investment with that kind of capacity. All of us are passing through what we call learning course. Can't mention two of Dangote that have happened in Nigeria before. And do you know, also may not have experienced similar thing like this. What is essential is for the regulator and government agencies to sit down and foresee the future and have a framework that will protect every individual, protect the private institutions who are investors, and also protect other institutions. Labor union is also an institution. They have their own interest. They have their constitutional right to agitate and protect their members. It's allowed. It's legal. Then you as an investor too, you are allowed to run your business, a private entity. You are the risk bearer. Your concern is stability and promote and returns you get from that business. But it's now left for the regulator to see, okay, when this happens, what do we do? What is the role? And that framework will guide everybody. We don't know it all at the first instance. We are passing through a learning curve. Maybe by the time another private refinery of that size have come, he will have learned from what Dangote has experienced. Labour will have also learned from what they've experienced from Dangote, and we move from there. So I want to exonerate each parties. It's a matter of interest, and they were all right on their own. They were all quite right in their own stand position. But it's important for the regulator to marry together and come out with the framework that will protect the two parties.
Because that's what Nigerians are concerned about. So nobody wants to queue at filling stations or, for cooking gas or, seeing very increased prices already. The economy is hard, for people, and we do not want to see that. But thank you so much for this insight, that you've given us in this discussion. Mr. Olatunbosun Abideen-Oladapo, President, the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, NALPGAM. Is that how to pronounce the short form, the abbreviation?
Yeah, NALPGAM, you are correct.
All right.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to discuss with you. Thank you.
I wish you all the best. Thank you. All right, and that has been the conversation on the big story this evening. We'll take some messages and you can join me on the roundtable.
Since 1894, we've witnessed the evolution of a nation and proudly partner with its people on their path to prosperity. From the ink-stained ledgers to fast transactions, First Bank has consistently adapted, embracing innovation and making giant strides across the globe. It's not just about banking, it's about enabling your success, generation after generation. Our legacy define the past, shape the present, and will still be fostering financial security and stability for future generations. We're